Your anger is righteous, and it makes you extremely vulnerable to manipulation. Hello, everybody. As always, I'm sort of on a time constraint. I'm glad my YouTube channel is getting a little bit of attention. It's weird getting used to this idea of my YouTube videos actually being watched by people, which is, I guess, what I've always wanted, but I'm just really used to talking into the void. I guess there are people here now, which is new. So hello and welcome. I'm really, really grateful that you guys are here. I want to start talking in code. And speaking in code has long been a tactic for safety and protection for any kind of movement, for any kind of revolution. If history has taught us anything about this country, is that free speech depends. Free speech depends on who you are and what you're saying. We live in a very, very volatile political climate in the United States. We live in a country full of bombs, anger bombs, waiting to detonate. You think is your enemy, but these systems of corruption have been in place long before he was even born. He's just a living, breathing face to put your anger toward, to put your hatred on. He's a mouthpiece for a system of corruption that has been in place for a very, very long time. In a system of corruption, in a system with human worth hierarchy, we think that by defeating our enemy, first of all, we think that defeating an enemy is possible. Every time we name a political enemy or a political leader our enemy, they name us one back. And if our political enemies have more money and more violent power than we do, what's the point? A lot of us are angry, righteously angry, because our sense of safety is being threatened. We are constantly sold these ideas of who our enemy is, and we have no real way of fighting, especially if that enemy has way more money than we do. I'm not a fan of violence. Violence doesn't do anything to make me feel safer. Committing violence against other people only makes other people feel unsafe, which only makes people want to be more violent to protect their safety. But I think safety has to be collaborative. It has to be cooperative. And I want safety for me and my family. I want safety for other people as well. Safety has to be something that we create together. This political environment is not suited for peace. It's not suited for justice. It's not suited for safety for any of us. And if safety is really our goal, that has to be something that we do as a people. We have to learn how to make each other feel safe. We need to practice the art of nonviolent communication. And oppression makes the human being unsafe. We have to work together. We can't name a group of people our enemy. We can't name one political leader our enemy. Even if they're taken out, even if these political people are taken out, one will spawn in its place. You have to understand. There is no such thing as defeating political enemies. There are always going to be people who think differently about things, and that's okay. But having entire groups of people who are unsafe is not okay. People's human dignity being threatened, shat on, because of their political ideas is not okay. People threatening other people's safety, that's not okay. We cannot threaten another group of people's safety in the name of our own safety, because as long as there's anybody in our community, anybody in our country who is feeling unsafe, there's going to be unrest, there's going to be no justice, there's going to be no peace. I know our anger compels us to be up in arms all the time, to want to fight all the time, but that's exactly what they want. It corrupts our minds. It prevents us from thinking intelligently. We have to learn to diffuse the bombs of our own hatred, of our own anger, in order to think clearly about what is important to us. Release the Epstein files. Bipartisan issue. But all of the bipartisan issues are being swept under the rug, right? Because everything that keeps us angry and keeps us up in arms and keeps us hating each other is the only thing that we're seeing in the media. I am not the most educated person on here. I have my rinky-dink bachelor's degree, but I have a library card. I want you guys to come up with the ideas here. There's something much deeper and much more sinister than the faces of these ideologies. There is a system in place that is keeping us divided. And there are some people whose anger bomb is so charged they don't want peace. They want domination. They want the complete defeat of their enemies. And it's just, what they want is just impossible. There's always going to be resistance. As long as there's oppression, there's going to be resistance. There's going to be uprisings. There's going to be revolutions. No matter what, you can never truly, fully defeat your political enemies. Working class people are not the enemy. Those who are truly threatening our safety have no faces. It's the system that we're fighting against. It's the system that we're fighting against. It's not each other. I am not your enemy. I'm just a girl. I want to love. I want protection, and I want to live under a system that has justice, that treats people with dignity. Splitting families apart is not treating people with dignity. You are disrespecting humanity. As long as we are committing the crimes against others that we wouldn't want to have committed against us, we will never know safety. As long as there's one group of people, any group of people, that is experiencing systemic violence, hatred, whatever, this country will always be up in arms. This country will always be a bomb waiting to detonate. I want to defuse the bomb. I don't want to name anybody my enemy anymore. I want a different system. And so I have a couple of propositions that will sound crazy. I really don't think we should identify as left or right anymore. There are a lot more colors than red or blue. And as long as we are diametrically opposed in this way, this party system isn't working. And as long as we are stuck in this two-party system, I think democracy will always be under threat. And I don't think we understand who our enemies are exactly. Again, I'm not the most educated person out here. I have ideas. I want my safety. I want to love what I love. I want to express myself fully. I want fresh food. I want to be able to feed my kids. I want people to feel safe. I'm not trying to make enemies on here. I'm just seeing what's going on, and I'm like, guys, stop fighting. Stop fighting. We're all losing. We're all losing. We have to unite. Defuse the bomb. Defuse the bomb within yourself and with other people if you can. We're sold these ideas of who our enemy is, and it's just like, that's not the one. That's not the one, guys. Our enemy is escaping. They're getting away with shit. And even if I represent something that you despise or you dislike, these ideologies will remain. They will remain. They will exist. I'm not neutral. I want you guys to understand I'm not neutral. I definitely know where I stand politically. But I'm starting to realize, is it really going to change anything? Or is that just going to detonate people's bombs? Is that just going to threaten my own safety if I say what my political beliefs are? I'm against the system. I want another system. I don't want human beings as my enemy. I want something as my enemy. And the difference is that if somebody comes to me with different opinions, with different ideas, somebody wrote a comment on one of my videos saying, LOL, no. Fine. Care to say what you disagree with? My point is that individual is not my enemy. And if somebody wants to come on here and try to hate me, first of all, I'm just a girl. Second, I'm willing to hear you out. What do you actually want? You want safety, right? Why are you convinced, absolutely fully convinced, that somebody is your enemy, that a group of people is your enemy? Your anger is righteous, but you got the wrong guy. Let's stand together and fight the system. And I only want in these comments focuses bipartisan issues that we can stand together on. I do not want divisive fighting. I want ideas, not who the enemy is. I don't want anything in the comments about who your enemy is. I want systemic issues that are the problem. more safety, more human rights. At the end of the day, it's one of those things. Human dignity, freedom, liberation. Easy. Easy. Put it in the comments, okay? All right, that's all I have for today. I will see you in the next video. Bye.